Greetings and warm regards to each and every one of you, my dear friends, companions, brothers and sisters. Before I even begin this video today, I truly want to thank you for being here with me, and I also want to thank my divine higher spirit for being here, being with me, dwelling within me, and constantly guiding my path. I sincerely hope that every word that comes out of my mouth and the voice you hear from me today will serve as a powerful beacon of hope for your future life, a radiant light in your heart, and a source of genuine help so that we can move forward together. Walk this path. We must carefully go through this long and incredibly dark tunnel to finally reach the light on the other side. We have been traveling on this difficult journey for many long years now, and at this very moment we are almost at the very end of the line. Just take a moment to truly imagine a scenario where you wake up one morning and suddenly come to the profound realization that all those people you once firmly believed were your bitter enemies were actually completely innocent individuals who never bore any genuine hostility toward you at all, while simultaneously discovering that those very same people whom you trusted with your life and fought so hard for were the ones deceiving you. For many years you worked tirelessly in their service, you consistently bowed down to every one of their strict rules, and you always saw them as being inherently better and more important than yourself in every possible way. And did you honestly believe they would support you? That they would actually help you in your old age, and even change your place for you when you needed it most? So the enemy you were fighting turns out to be innocent, and the one who wore the mask of a friend. For generations, our fathers and ancestors they thought they were working for us, working in our favor. Our common enemy in this serious matter is not just from one single country or two, and not specifically from the south or the north, the east or the west. This critical issue belongs to every inhabitant of the whole planet Earth. Then one day we suddenly wake up and see the reality. Everything has changed. Or little by little in the winter, we reach a point where we ask ourselves, who is my friend? Who is my enemy? Where am I? What is the law? What is the truth? What is right? The planet Uranus enters Gemini and sends this powerful lightning bolt to all of modern humanity. It means it comes to wake us up and brings the truths right before our eyes, a place where there's no room for debate anymore, where you and I can't just sit and argue together about politics, about religion, and we can't convince each other and it turns into arguments and disputes. That's no longer the case. Instead, the truths reveal themselves so starkly that no one will have any questions left. Uranus, after its long journey of 84 years, in the year 2026, specifically on the quiet morning of April 26, 2026, when we finally wake up, it will no longer be considered the primary ruler of the Earth. This significant celestial shift marks the end of a very long era for our planet. So let's try to make possible whatever the universe wants for us. All the plans we've made for ourselves might fall apart. Maybe you've been in a certain field since childhood, and now, at the age of 40, 50, or 60, suddenly something comes along and changes your path. Uranus does this to bring you closer to your soul's destiny, and you need to embrace it openly. We should accept and embrace whatever changes come our way and understand that behind these plans being made by the world, they are not being made by political or religious leaders or by people and countries, but rather by Uranus. It is for the good and benefit of humanity. And on the other hand, Pluto enters Aquarius to pull us along. in our beliefs in the things we used to believe in so strongly that we would even kill for them, Pluto comes to fundamentally change these for us and show us the deep, underlying real truth of the entire matter. Since the year 2000, I have been talking about these changes, discussing them, and writing articles about them. Everywhere I was a guest on podcasts, I mentioned this, and in my book in 2020, I explained all of this in detail, that on April 26th, 2026, we will enter a different world. And now, at this very moment, that long-awaited time has finally come, meaning that within the next week or so, we are all going to experience such an incredibly great transformation, a powerful and overwhelming surge, a major unexpected shock that will surely hit us all. Now, it might take a year, it might take 2 years, but every moment is a moment of awareness, a moment of being shocked. So now what? What about tomorrow? What will happen tomorrow? And we realize that all the plans we made with our small minds were just wasting our energy. And my advice is to let the universe do its job. We are not here to overthrow governments. We cannot unravel the threads they have woven for us by me killing you and you killing me. And then another brother kills another brother. It doesn't work that way, because if it was supposed to work, then in the past 100 years, we would have had a wonderful life. I repeat again, this doesn't pertain to any specific country. It concerns the entire planet. It concerns us on our Earth. So let's be observers, because it will become clear to us as well that we were never the decision makers. We were never the decision makers. Decisions were always made for us. And now is the time when much higher powers, other planets, are intervening, so that through a living path, they can lead us towards civilization, justice, fairness, and equality. These are things that have been taken from us for many years, and the changes that are happening are from the year 2026, which is this year, until the year 2033. Uranus will cause upheaval in the world. Imagine if, for example, our grandfather suddenly woke up, came back from the other world and looked around, if they showed him our world as it is now and told him that everyone has a cell phone, we have televisions. We get on airplanes, there are strange jets flying in the sky. Technology has become like this. Highways look like this. Streets are like this. Cars are like this. How shocking would it be for them? Because it wasn't their world. It was a different world. Back then, their way of life, their entire lifestyle was completely different. These 7 years are exactly like this. In the year 23, we will look back at these 7 years as if they were 84 years of progress. That is, in the next 7 years, when we look back, we won't even remember what kind of life we used to have. The specific way that we lived in the year 2000 or even back in 1900, all of that will be completely transformed, turning into strange new technologies and turning into very unusual ways of living. In every single field that exists today, from the world of politics, from religion, from economics, from complex currency systems, from teaching methods, and from schools all the way to universities, we will witness absolutely incredible changes. And with the rapid advancement of technology, I personally am very excited. What do they say? I am truly thrilled to see what these next 7 years will bring to us. Even though I already have some specific ideas, and even though I have always been against traditional medicine, we are going to eliminate medicine altogether. These pills, this massive pharmaceutical industry that has been killing our people for so long, and people thought they had to trust their doctors, but even the doctors themselves didn't know the truth, because that's just how they were taught in school. all these medicines will eventually disappear. Instead, there will be no diseases at all. Lifespans will be much longer, and there will be no more knives, blood, or strange surgeries. It will be as if we go into a box and come out again, like a modern CT scan, devices that, 84 years ago, would have been completely incomprehensible to anyone. Now for us, it's just as hard to imagine, but medical technology will advance infinitely. All these things are extremely interesting and fascinating to me. I say I'm excited. But the sweetest part for me is that our core beliefs will change, and we'll be left asking ourselves, why did I never realize that this whole thing was a lie, that it was all just brainwashing? In short, all our beliefs, our borders, the countries that separated people and set them against each other in wars, all of that will fall apart, and we will build a brand new world. And this time, the world we create will be full of blessings, strong, fundamental, and above all, built on honesty and integrity. In short, absolutely everything will change. And after we journey through the depths of this dark tunnel, as I have previously mentioned, it's very much like the process of childbirth, where Mother Earth herself is experiencing the intense pains of labor, and then we will finally enter an entirely new and transformed world. So we should fully anticipate this period of collapse and rebuilding to happen steadily over these next 7 years. Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't just bulldoze the ancestral home, tear it down in one night, and rebuild it the next. We need to be patient, and we need to help each of us in this new birth so that our collective rebirth on earth is easier, so we cause less harm to others and less harm to ourselves. Most importantly, we need to drive fear away from ourselves. By the year 2030, everyone who survives will be aware, and even those who haven't awakened yet will, by next year, become aware through the events that unfold. Awareness will spread like lightning across the world, and the truth will become clear to everyone. Uranus will come, shake things up, turn everything upside down, strike like lightning. There will be separation and union. Some will be separated, others will be brought together. Those who are soulmates and kindred spirits will find each other. Relationships won't be like the old ones anymore, based on obligation or formality and economic issues, like I'm friends with this person because they have money, or I married my husband because he had this job, or I married so-and-so's daughter because she came from this family. All these old reasons will disappear and we will act independently, but within the collective in a high vibration acts like a sensitive radar, and Uranus is moving through Gemini. It is both a receiver and a transmitter of messages. It receives messages from the heavens and passes them on to others. Now, how it delivers these messages depends on people's resistance. We can reach this point through conflict, or we can reach it peacefully, but what is certain is the shadowy and malevolent forces will be eradicated from the face of our world, and the hidden truths will finally begin to reveal themselves to everyone. The monetary systems and financial values that have existed in our current era will utterly disappear forever. In the lower vibration, it's highly possible that some people will be trapped by pride and self-centeredness, by their own inflated egos, and make things much harder for all of us. There are also those who wear masks to hide their true selves, but by the year 2028, these masks will be completely removed from each and every one of our children on this earth. One by one, there will be no more room for deceit, and no more opportunity to fool someone with empty words. What is truly real will be fully exposed, and we will see it clearly in everyone, but we humans in our current state. Those who were truly responsible and actually guilty, and we who were falsely accused, will eventually reach a profound state of awareness. We will finally attain our rightful justice. And those people, in order to maintain their deceptive facades and keep their masks on, in order to still be able to lie and continue to feed off our energy, will make their last desperate and frantic attempts. But the times we live in are such that we already know exactly how the story ends. We understand the reasons why these things are happening. Instead of asking Mother Earth, "Why are you suffering?" the clear answer is that she is currently giving birth, and we must remember that childbirth always comes with great pain. Let's look at it this way, but let's try to fix ourselves, to reflect on ourselves. Let's raise our own awareness. The only reason for a person's misery is ignorance, and the only way we can endure is to have awareness in the new world, on the golden earth. So that we can see heaven on earth, we need to increase our awareness as soon as possible. When 75% of people become aware, we will make very rapid progress. It could even happen overnight. Our problem is the ignorance of some people. The unfortunate reality of what happens to those who are unaware is deeply saddening and discouraging, because they are accustomed to the old system and to the way that things have always functioned. They remain in the same place all their lives under someone else's exploitation, but nothing changes because they don't know any better. But an aware person, they will see it as a kind of birth before actual birth, the sound of bulldozers, the sound of walls being broken down. It's the sound of breaking the false traditions that have been imposed on us, whether in politics or in religion. It's like an electric shock, like when someone loses consciousness and their heart stops beating and they use a shock to revive them. That shock will be given to people. Everyone will experience it in their own way in some part of their life, but we should expect a global shock. But when we look back at the past, 7 years from now, 4 years from now, 3 years, no more, we ask ourselves, what were these events really? Where was the truth? Where was I? How far away was I from what was really happening, from the artificial scenes that had been created for me? And I had believed them. In my opinion, as I mentioned in my previous videos, people have been divided into 4 groups. Right now in our society, regardless of language, culture, or country, all people. Then there are those individuals who are fast asleep, which essentially means that they exist much like the walking dead. They just count the days saying, "Today passed, let's see what happens tomorrow." They take no action for themselves, nor do they seek awareness. The second group are those who are waking up, and the majority of society is currently in the process of waking up. I sincerely hope and expect that this number will rise rapidly during the next year, and I am confident that it will happen. And those who are fully conscious, deeply aware, and awake right now, during this modern era we live in, have all this profound sense of excitement and joy building up within them. They know where we are headed, and even now they don't suffer from anything. They don't become hopeless. They don't become distressed because they need to preserve their energy for themselves. And they feel the greatest shift during this 1 month, especially the month of April. They sense it within themselves. The 4th and final category are by far the most extremely dangerous type of people that you could ever encounter. That is, they are harmful to society and cause awareness not to progress, and they drain more energy. to the enemy. They are those who know nothing but think they know everything. A specific group of individuals who are entirely confined within the digital world of the matrix, meaning they are unable to escape and see anything outside of that box, and their world will be shattered. And with it, they themselves might also be broken. And I hope that from now on they do something so that if they don't know about something, they don't take a stand. Honestly, they shouldn't chant slogans, they shouldn't make political interpretations, they shouldn't make religious interpretations, and they shouldn't impose their beliefs on anyone. Because, as I have mentioned, they will be broken and will then have to be reborn. This is truly the hardest period for them when, in just 1 year, someone who previously knew nothing and was acting arrogantly finds themselves here. He talks about issues he himself believes in, and anyone who disagrees with him is his enemy, and he argues with them harshly, even fights with them. Ridiculous. I should mention that throughout my life, from the time I was a young child, I have neither been a religious person, nor have I ever been against religion. I have neither belonged to any party, nor have I been a politician, nor do I have any political knowledge to be saying these things. I am speaking to you today, not only as a professional astrologer, but also as someone who possesses the rare gift to see the future, and indeed, I have already seen it clearly. I do not belong to any religion, politics, country, or culture. My religion is humanity and humaneness. I'm just saying, what does Uranus do when it comes? This is not my personal issue. It's like I'm picking this up with a radar and passing on this message. The rest is up to you. I am standing here today to offer my help, if I truly can, to significantly raise the level of awareness across the entire planet as rapidly as possible. And I do not impose any of my personal beliefs. Rather, I am simply sharing here what I know from the stars. For you, it's the era of bulldozing. Uranus's job is exactly this. Every 84 years, Uranus comes to shake up the old system and create a new one. No matter how modern we become, we came from the lineage of apes, then became progressive humans, and now we are becoming even more advanced and civilized. We move forward and the skies decide for us. The stars have an influence on us. What is above is also below. And this has been true throughout history. The reason we have evolved, the reason we have television, telephones, cars, and modern devices. It's because every 84 years, Uranus comes and brings about major changes. In April of this year, in the year 26, when you wake up in the morning, it's possible that you might even receive some messages. Astronomers have said this before as well. This was mentioned in ancient times by ancient astrologers who were the most accurate. They have said these things. And it has happened. One of the very important things that I'd really like to share with you here is that beginning specifically on the day of the 26th of April, during that very same week, which is the final week of April, it is quite possible that you might receive a message, or maybe someone who hasn't called you in years might give you a call. Something might happen in your life or in the country or in the world that could disrupt the plans you had made. I'm telling you this so that you won't be afraid, so you won't lose hope. Rather, I'm giving you a heads up. If a storm is coming, I'm telling you to stay at home. That is exactly what I mean. Sometimes, because of certain significant events that happen in your life, the path you are following might be diverted onto a different path. But this detour isn't one that will lead you to a worse life. Rather, the heavens, fate, or whatever you want to call it. The divine forces are behind you and want you to take this new path. So that week, a lot will happen in your personal, external, and internal lives. Know that we are finding the main road. We are leaving behind a dead-end path that led nowhere. We are entering a new world. And it's possible that we might lose a job or get a new job, or something really good might happen for us, or a path that's been closed for years might open up, or something we were sure we would do might not happen. Pay close attention to all of these things in the last week of April. What things are coming into your life? What messages are you receiving? Lives change when we receive the messages. It is important to remember that when we truly focus and pay close attention, because all of us have guides who are constantly showing us the way. So pay very close attention, and whatever happens to you, whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, find a way to be deeply grateful for it in that exact moment and express that gratitude out loud. I've received the message and follow the path that is opening up for you. This is one of the things that Uranus brings as a message to some people at the time of its entry. It is changing a path for them, and then it continues. The whole year, it keeps going. Maybe you'll receive messages every day, maybe your life will change every day, but overall, the gathering of stars at the end of April is very intense, and then in July it will become even more intense. Again, we will experience a shift, but if the events that happen in July are not pleasant, we should take them as a good omen. These things are happening. Everything is on the path of change. The system is old, and we shouldn't act like a clumsy, panicked person, like, oh, this hero arrived, that leader left, another leader came, someone announced they're not coming, someone left the government. On the outside, these judgments are your personal judgments, which actually take place in the matrix world. Aquarius, the very essence of Aquarius. The rule of the people by the people. If you think that if this president leaves and another president comes, things will get better, that's not going to happen. Again, this is not just my personal opinion. I'm talking about the secrets of Aquarius and the nature of Aquarius. We're heading toward a world where there's no boss over our heads, meaning we won't choose someone because we think we're incomplete, that we can't make decisions for our own lives and ask them to come and lead the country. In the age of Aquarius, leadership will be carried out by groups of people for the people. Everyone has a job. A group goes into a certain field and creates the rules. This is possible. It might take another 6 to 7 years, but we are moving toward that point, so there's no need to, just because I support someone and you oppose someone else, don't argue with each other. Instead, support one another. Please do not cause harm to one another, and refrain from attempting to stifle or suppress this awareness. This is the inherent nature that these celestial planets possess. I urge you to come and lend your assistance, because what has arrived is being driven by vast and formidable powers far beyond our control. They come so that these manufactured and artificial deities of our own creation, who are all secretly in cahoots behind the scenes, may all feast and congregate in the shadows together. They are all friends, they all make deals with each other, they all constantly take money from each other, and they all offer money to one another, simply because they see us as completely unaware, while they sit up there, creating the entire scene. War with this one, war with that one, that's what we do. We don't do this, and in my personal opinion, anyone in politics is not an honest person. Basically, politics essentially boils down to a web of lies, and when we truly realize that politics means lies or religion, like what the Jews did throughout history, they were working hard to get deep into the mind and the inner thoughts of a Christian, and These religious books that have been written thousands of times, meticulously taken apart and then rewritten over and over again, so that when the war with Iran happens, a group called Jesus comes and lifts them up from the ground. That's why they support the war with Iran, all of them. Or who even did this? Why did they do it? Is it so that I become anti-Muslim, anti-Christian, anti-Jewish? All of this within 2 years, less than 2 years from now. It will become clear to everyone that all of this was just a game created by those who considered themselves our gods, so that we would be exploited, so that we would always be the victims, always be weak, always fear sin, always live in a dream, and remain helpless in the hands of our jailers. I did this, the real world after the base. All of this will make things clear, so that you see what they did to a human being. The war is not between me and a Jew or between me and a Muslim. The war is not between Christians and Muslims. The war is not between human and human. The war is between darkness and light, and we are all human, and we will all find our solidarity. We all understand that we are all children and offspring of the Creator, and all these conflicts have been created by someone from outside who made these rules for us so that we remain in ignorance. When you have a home and a life and you are safe, you never fight with your neighbor. And when we put this philosophy in front of ourselves and compare it with our world today, we ask, what are these wars for? Why do none of the leaders ever send their own families to war? Why do they send our children to the front? Just asking this one simple question is more than enough for you to realize that they definitely have specific plans for all of us. No country that currently has a leader, a republic, a king, a monarch, a sovereign ruler, or a queen, all of them. Go and ask their local people directly if they are truly satisfied with their daily lives. It is not just in places like Syria, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iran that ordinary people are suffering so deeply. This is a much more widespread and serious issue. People all across the entire world are currently suffering deeply because there is simply no fairness, and because we do not truly enjoy our daily lives. Some of the greatest injustices and most profound inequalities are happening right now within the United States of America. Go and ask the people of Israel what they think about their leader. I remember when my close friend came to visit me here, and when I dropped him off at the airport, I held his hand and said, I hope that the next time I see you, the world will be at peace and your country will be at peace. This was a few years ago, and he just looked at me. His eyes were filled with love, and he said, Mina, this is a wish we'll have to take to our graves. Because as long as my country exists, there will be war in the world. We've never had a single day without war. And then let's go. Iran, Afghanistan, China, Korea, Vietnam. Let's go and delve deep into the foundations to uncover the hidden roots of every significant event that has unfolded over the course of the past 26,000 years. We place our unwavering faith and trust in the leaders we choose, even though that government is no longer truly for the people. The government continually grows stronger and more powerful by feeding off the collective energy of the people. And the people are innocent. The people of every country are innocent. Whether it's Iran, Africa, Europe, America, Africa, everywhere. Who is truly responsible for the profound suffering and misery of the common people? And when we, the people, unite together and join our hands in solidarity, Then will the celestial age of Aquarius finally arrive to help us? When the truth comes out, we realize who our real enemy was and why wars are increasing. The reason why the world is being divided into two sides. The earth really is being split into two sides, and it will continue to be. Those who have finally awakened, and those who are systematically brainwashed and utterly destroyed by the actions of these various governments. The question is, if a leader's citizens and subjects are not fully contented with their lives, and he himself has not been able to take on the mantle of leadership to deliver his people from their suffering, how is he creating wars, and how are some people cooperating with him? In different parts of the world, war is not the act of a human being. It is the act of an animal, the act of a devil. War happens when people feel insecure in a country because their own internal system completely collapses and fails. The system inevitably destroys itself from within and ultimately brings itself down to the ground. And since this inevitable destruction will soon become quite evident due to Uranus moving through the collective, it will eventually fall apart. I am specifically talking about our home planet Earth. They have become afraid. If a father truly and deeply cares for his young children, for his beloved wife, and for every single one of his extended family members as well, first he must ensure the enduring happiness and well-being of his own family, and strive to provide them with a life of true comfort and joy. Can you name a single country on this earth where there is no conflict, no opposing political parties, no different factions, and where there isn't a war breaking out in some part of the country occurring on a daily basis? Everything we have seen clearly demonstrates that the prominent national leaders of the countries, they have become hopeless about their secure positions. They're afraid their money is losing value, the money they had printed for no reason. And that is why they feel they must bully and intimidate the weaker nations. Those days are over. If we go back to that apple tree, I always talk about the apple tree, the apple that has a worm in it. Don't say to one apple, my apple doesn't have a worm. This time, go and clean the roots of that apple tree, and that's exactly what the Uranuses will accomplish on Friday night. So please take everything that will happen throughout this coming year as a truly wonderful omen, and say to yourself, we are reaching freedom. We are opening the walls of the prison. There is a prison and there is a jailer. We fellow prisoners are not actually against each other at all in this place. We are all products of a system, and this system must be dismantled. That is, the prison must be destroyed, and this law is the essence of Aquarius, and they know it, Nara, and they are making their last efforts. As I said, I am not talking about a religion, a country, or a leader. They are all liars. They are all oppressors. They all exploit people. One of them wraps up his country with a few nice words. Another boasts and says, I am victorious, and twists things that way. Another torments people with material pressure, and yet another oppresses anyone who disagrees with him. Each of them has their own kind of prison. People themselves are being systematically exploited. And this isn't just about highly developed nations or struggling third world countries. This issue is prevalent everywhere across the globe. And the more expansive or technologically modern a country is, the more misery there is there. There is an increasing amount of injustice and even more acts of intimidation. They always have a few parties pretending to oppose each other, but it's all behind the scenes. In fact, every single person is well aware of the underlying truth. Even among themselves, those who hold the reins of power often find themselves in deep disagreement. But that is not what you and I see on television, where they shake hands, hold formal meetings, and make those beautiful, polished speeches. That kind of empty talk is completely useless. What have you actually accomplished up to this point? Where exactly have you worked? What does your professional record look like? What is the history of your past? How much real-world experience do you truly have? And how much have you actually helped your society? The influential future leaders of our world are those individuals who, at this very moment, are the vibrant youth within our diverse countries. And because their beliefs are different from ours, they will collaborate and work together in a collective effort for the benefit of the people. The fundamental reality of the situation is that to truly serve their people, a teacher must provide unwavering support and guidance to their students. They must tell them the truth. A spiritual master should speak the truth, not just look at how many followers they have. We have mixed all of these things together. If a spiritual master is deeply depressed, constantly suffering, and profoundly unhappy, and if they have not yet been able to bring true happiness to their own life, then how can they possibly offer you and me, as those who listen to their teachings, the ultimate secret to finding lasting happiness and peace? A true leader should always strive to bring lasting peace. They should tell you the secret to finding true happiness. They should consistently speak the absolute truth. They should be honest in all things, and they should not be political at all. Those who grew up in that system, in those families, and learned these things, the only thing they learned was to speak eloquently. Just by talking, I can't be a good leader. Take these things and reflect on them in solitude with yourself. Say them to yourself. If I don't know something, I go search, I go research, and I no longer promote it. I don't argue with others. I do not spill any blood over my personal convictions. Rather than doing that, I strive every single day to serve as a positive role model by being a truly compassionate and ethical human being. I help the society that is in the process of changing its attire. I sew a corner of this garment instead of tearing it apart. I make myself independent. I need to know what I'm good at and how useful I am to society. If I just sit and wait for a leader to come and change me, then I am an unworthy and disabled person myself. If I start with my family, start with my neighborhood, start with my street, start with my city, if others do the same, we will come together. There is one thing I'm sure of. We humans, we love each other. We are brothers and sisters. Those artificial emotions, those sycophantic emotions come from the matrix world. I need to know that these emotions of mine, they are making me fatherless. What intention is behind us? The fourth group of people. As I said, they are the most dangerous for our society. That is, they delay our journey to the golden world, and they themselves will never get anywhere. The right way is for each of us to know ourselves, discover our own talents, and start building anew. Let's create a new world, be of some help, and if we can't help, if I still don't know what I'm good at, then I should step aside, sit and observe, and not help the enemy. We are all laborers in building our mother home, which is the earth. We are builders, plumbers, workers, foremen, architects, masons. We are all building. If you're not helping, at least don't stop me from moving forward and doing the work. Don't stand in my way. Take a moment to look deep within yourselves, to discover the unique gifts and talents you possess, and consider how you can generously offer them back to your Mother Earth. Our Earth has borne an incredible amount of pain and suffering in her heart over these many years, these 84 long years of deception and lies. She has been injured and damaged so profoundly that every single one of us must consider how we can act as a healing balm for our precious earth, and how we can truly serve and protect her. Who am I really in the context of this family? What can I actually do to make a difference? If you just sit there idle and wait for some hero to come along and fix everything for you, you will eventually find that you are getting absolutely nowhere in the end. Neptune will cleanse and wash you thoroughly with its powerful waters, just as it inevitably washes away the entire outdated system, along with those who are clinging desperately to old ideas, obsolete styles, and ancient traditions. This is the work of Neptune, Pluto in Aquarius, and Uranus in Gemini. I'm just preparing you. Discover yourself, and by prepare, I mean roll up your sleeves. Start working. Do anything you like, anything you know how to do, anything you are capable of. If you are going to complain, then right now is the time to make your dreams come true. 2626 is a portal. It opens up so that if you wish for something, you can achieve it. But this wish requires that you show you've put on your shoes, that you're ready to move forward and claim this gift. Sitting at home and meditating won't fix anything. It is time to start distinguishing the actual truths from reality. Reality is what exists in our current matrix world, while truth is completely white and this is black. But until you can distinguish between them, you need to ask, who is this war really between? The war isn't between political parties, it's not between religions, not between beliefs, not between countries, not between languages. The war is between the matrix, the old system, and the free world. Our destiny will be written from this very date, 26-26. What do you want? Where do you want to go? What do you want for your future? Whatever you will, whatever you decide you want to be, the universe will give it to you. And in the very next video, which was originally supposed to be quite short, we will begin with a detailed introduction. I will now explain in detail, for every single one of the zodiac signs, exactly where the most significant changes could occur soon. In the next video, I'll talk about all 12 signs. When you listen to the videos, if you know your rising sign, read your rising sign first. That one is the most important, as it's the area of your life where changes are most likely to happen. Then definitely check your birth month, that is, the month you were born. I think it's called the sun sign, and third, See where your moon is, wherever your moon is too. Read them in 3 steps and even listen to all 12. Because in our chart, all 12 are present at some point. We encounter them or our partner does. Us. It might be in another second and it affects us, but whatever happens, say this. It has come from the Creator, from my higher spirit. It has come for my growth. I am no longer afraid of anything. I have the powers within myself. They used to scare me with a scarecrow, but now I possess the scarecrows. I shatter and destroy them, and my fellow spiritual brothers and sisters, and every single one of us does the same. These clowns, all of these puppets who have been performing for us for the past 84 long years, constantly deceiving and lying to us from the agencies at NASA and far beyond their reach, coming directly from the CIA, from the FBI, from various branches of the military, and from all of their official words and statements, absolutely everything has been a lie. Behind the scenes, it was something else entirely. We, the people, will build our own world, and the government of the future will be a government of the people, by the people. I hope that by 26.26 you will write down what your goals are, what you want to do, what changes you want to make. And as I said, if something changes, don't be upset at all. When this new path comes along, step into it and say, why did God open this path for me? Why didn't the path I thought about for 30 years work out? Why was this path opened for me? It's a blessing from God, and I embrace it and will work on it. Don't wait for someone else to come and save you. We will build our future world together. Soon I will record videos about the 12 zodiac signs for you, and until then, I leave you in the care of my great Creator. Be at peace and may all your wishes come true. Have a nice day.